All right. Yeah, when I went there, it was literally like Smithsonian. Okay, here's your 10 minutes. Let's go.
I know.
That's what I went there. It's
You can't
Surely you
see
can't be
everything in
serious.
a day.
I am
Yeah.
serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Silent breed is people! One morning I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I don't know.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
E.T. phone home.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
And we've got them, the guys at the end of the bench, John and Dan. Welcome back to both you.
Happy New Year.
Happy
New Year to you both. I appreciate you being here. Back, I know you guys do this a lot because you guys traveling all over the place. Good God, why? Good God, why? Went to Washington, D.C. There's only like 75 million human beings all want to use the same roadways and be walking where you want to walk. No, thank you. Keep me in Blue Earth, Minnesota, where you sidewalk? Oh, it's Al's sidewalk today because he's walking. He's not going to hit anybody. I don't like it. How do you guys do it? I mean, you go everywhere. Go ahead, John.
You know, and I've done this because I've traveled internationally. Part of the problem is our obsession with having and driving our own car.
No.
The reason you can go to Europe and get around so easily is because everything's either walkable or bikes or mass transit. You don't have people driving everywhere and crowding everywhere and parking everywhere. I don't think it could necessarily work in our country because the way our country's so spread out. But I'm just saying it makes a big difference. When I travel, if they got mass transit like they do in D.C., I take it.
I took the train.
Even if I rented a car.
First train ever. I took the train from Maryland down to Richmond and actually really enjoyed it, except I got to complain a little bit. I kind of thought all the train stations were going to be like New York City, and they got the big marbly thing, or like Harry Potter getting on it. And in reality, they all look like post offices, and they charge you $12.99 for a half a ham sandwich. It wasn't quite as glamorous. And the other thing from that station down, you're on an old railroad track that just drives by a lot of crappy old industrial buildings, so you don't see anything that looks pretty whatsoever. It's like, oh, more track.
No.
It was less entertaining than I think. Did you guys ever take the train?
I did just within D.C., just within the D.C. area.
Oh.
Actually, my experience, I did the 4th of July on the mall one year with my family.
Wow. Zillion people.
Oh, yeah. It was incredible. Zillion people. But we were out in like Arlington or something, and we took the train into the closest station right to the mall, hopped off, got in with about 15 million of my closest friends. and then left, and then we were able to leave it. It was like this was surprisingly easy. I can't imagine trying to drive that, but it was a mass of humanity. You have to be able to deal with just an absolute mass of humanity. And
I love driving, but I wouldn't want to drive in D.C.
Oh, my brother-in-law drove up to D.C. to find a parking spot. I was like, this is the craziest flipping thing. And then there aren't quick trips just everywhere. How far? You got to go about 20 miles. There's a quick trip stop and use the kids' room. Not in D.C. because you're not getting off the highway, baby. It's free. You're like 2.5, 3 hours. Like, I hope you didn't drink coffee this morning. It was it was tough. I mean, thank my relatives for doing it, but that was tough. Anyway, we'll talk more about it as we go.
You got a plan. Sure, yeah.
Dehydrate yourself 2.5 days earlier so you can that was the plan. Let's talk some sports. Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay, 16-3.
Who?
Was that the last two games? Not some of the most boring football you have ever seen. Negative yards. Can they get to positivity? I mean, granted, we won 5-0, but that's some ugly football.
That was some ugly football. You're absolutely true. Some ugly football. Doesn't help that the opposition wasn't, wasn't really trying, or at least they had second and third stringers in most for much of the game.
John, John, let me ask you this: when you look back now, you literally had to. I go to myself, man, if we had just won one more game, we're playing that game with all the starters, and it means something. And I go, what would I change? Oh, the Chicago game where we're leading with 58 seconds to go and they get a kickoff return, that one play kept that from even being a contest. These people play enough sports to know you got to play every game, but does that not slap us in the face that was absolutely meaningless for everybody who participated?
It does a little bit, and that's the easy one to pick out. I also look at those 2 games in Europe that we played; both were very winnable.
Yeah,
you know, and it what makes it really painful is you look at Carolina, who's in the playoffs, and I'm like, we got a better record. What are they doing at the damn playoffs? They don't even have a 500 record.
Yeah, and they had a lot of that with the bowl games. Who was the bowl team that had 5 wins or something? I mean, we're stretching it. Let me ask you this. I don't know how many of you guys have kids who played football, but this football game reminded me so much of senior day when my kids played football. So all of a sudden, we got to make sure that JJ gets his 1,000 yards, right? So throw him ball. Okay, now he's got his 1,000. Then he's like, okay, I want to get to 100. Okay, we'll do that. So you're bumping in. Harrison Smith needs to have the standing O coming out of the game, and God love him. CJ Ham, CJ, you're not playing no here anymore. Let's get you a touchdown before you do it, and then you go out. It just had all the feel in my book of the varsity seniors day last game, and then as soon as it's out of that, all right, all the juniors in, you're playing in the it was a horrible game.
Well, it's just tag off, have a little hand slap at the at midfield to say, hey, the passing of the torch. Right there. Yeah.
Just horrible. And then I was really waiting for one of the 2, Ham or Smith, to take his shoes off after the game and go set them in the middle of the field like the wrestlers do when they get.
That's wrestling.
Well, you can't steal anything from the other sports. Come on, that would have been kind of cool. And then somebody steals his shoes, like the slippers from Dorothy, which I saw, by the way, at the History Museum.
CJ Ham was like, wait, he's still on the team? I had forgotten that. I had forgotten. It's like, CJ Ham, that's right.
So let's take a look. Your pathetic Green Bay Packers. Now, we didn't play the real Packers, I know, but we beat Detroit. Now, 9-8 season, there was a time you weren't looking at 9-8, right? I mean, the fact we had to win 5 to get there. So is this something we build on? What do you get out of JJ not finishing the game again? Didn't see an injury, but the one was, I don't know. Your thoughts, Dan, on JJ, and what do we do?
That's the problem. I think, yesterday's game told us absolutely nothing, just because of, that they weren't, it wasn't truly competitive. Yeah, I can guarantee you that the Green Bay second stringers were working their best. They were trying the best because they're looking for next year. Because this was their, can I make a name for myself for next year? But I don't think I really learned anything terribly useful about JJ in this game, and especially with him not finishing it. It's it just raises. Now, I'm not going to be an alarmist that just says, "Oh my God, he's injury prone. He's injury." I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. This game doesn't tell me that either, to be honest.
But what does it tell you? What does it tell you, John? We have to have somebody else. It can't be Brosmer as the backup, right? Well, he can take snaps, but he's not going to win us ball games. No, John, you're looking at me weird. No. Don't we have to go get a seasoned guy with 10 years experience that can come off the bench and at least manage his squad?
Yeah, there needs to be somebody in between. I don't mind Brosmer being a third guy.
Right.
He's serviceable. To Dan's point, it didn't tell me anything more about JJ. I think they took him out as a precaution because of the hairline fracture. They didn't.
Well, he took himself out. Something. He came out to the lineup. He pulled himself out.
He felt what he felt in the last game. Which is fine. I'm fine with that. I don't think I'm not ready to say he's a glass jaw. Okay. He performed serviceably, but that's what he's done. I think there's something to build on with him if he stays healthy. I do believe he has a future, and I'm not ready to write him off yet.
The only other thing I want to talk about is what do we do with Flores? Do you give him an unlimited checkbook? Say, Flores, you can stay. I don't care what it costs to keep him. You look at that. Well, again. Stringers. But this defense was everything this year.
This team, if you look at playoff caliber teams, we're positioned well with for a deep run. Why? Because we have a great defense and we have a great kicker, and those are 2 things that come into play a lot in the playoffs. it would have been fun to watch that team go. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
but
think we could have
you
made a
got to
run.
get in the playoffs as the killer. So what can we get in the playoffs? Who can run this team? Can any defensive coordinator do this? I mean, Flores obviously is very good. Dan, your thoughts quick on
Well,
Flores.
I mean, yeah, obviously you can find somebody who is good, but Flores is obviously he's been something special here. So I would say, open up the checkbook and
But two.
let him write in the numbers. Just that. Really, I think you definitely need to keep him around.
I'd keep him as the next head coach in waiting.
Yeah, but KOC is probably not going anywhere after getting head coach, coach of the year. That's what you'd be waiting for some time, but maybe get a few rings in that time too. They're young people. All right, we got to go to break. Before we go, just kind of like senior day. Boy, the juniors look good. Next year, we got a real squad of returners. It's going to be great. Well, yeah, back up.
This season, bring the whole family to see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This smash hit musical based on the classic film returns by popular demand to delight you at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. With loads of laughter and a stunning showcase of Irving Berlin songs, White Christmas is a celebration of the romance, friendship, and magic of the holidays. Make your plans today to see White Christmas. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together conservatives, liberals, independents, and others to restore trust, respect, and goodwill in politics. We seek not to eliminate our differences, but rather deal with them head on, with respect and understanding. We do not try to change people's views, but how they view the other side. There will always be differences. Braver Angels Minnesota believes the best way forward is to change how we deal with those differences. Join the civil conversation at mn.braverangels.org.
Are you kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS-SHOW.
All right, we've got them, John and Dan, the guys at the end of the bench. Let's just talk real quick about the NBA. As your Timberwolves seem to be proving Al right, which that's why I like to get on there. What are you looking at, Dan? What?
I'm just like this. Who are they? I'm saying.
Well, look at them. They're up the sixth spot. They could be in fourth. No, they could be in third place but they're half a game out of third. That's what I mean. They're coming. They're coming. Now they're proving me right. I can't. You question me. Welcome back, Dan. Here's the thing. So they beat the Wizards, no problem, 121-115 last night. I turned it off halfway. You saw that they were rolling, and it would have been one of those things they could have been mad at if they lost that game. They beat the Heat. They lose to the Hawks. When I look at those three games, here is me being proved right. In the win with the Wizards, the win with the Heat, the win with the Bulls, 5 guys or more in double digits. That loss to the Hawks, 2. When we spread the ball around and Ant's willing to not get 40 and spread that thing around, we're just a better team. Tell me I'm wrong, Dan. God, you got a look on your face this morning. It isn't that bad a take.
No, it's not. My sour look has much more to do about just the uncertainty of who you're going to get any given night. That's what it's about. It's like who are these guys? Which team are they? The team that beat the Thunder and just blow out the Heat with the only guys who were in negative plus minus were the guys in garbage time. Were the guys who only played a few minutes. I mean, everybody else was in like double-digit positive numbers. That was just incredible. But then they come back and so yes, I am increasingly positive, but there's still that nagging Minnesota thing in the back of my head that says they're going to find a way to blow stuff, aren't they? They're just going to find a way.
It is a weird, John, he is correct in that weird feeling. It lingers with this squad. But we've seen them at the end of a season start, getting that grasp on how to win games and get you to the finals. You feeling good about it, bad about it? What are your thoughts with your Wolves?
Well, I feel more good than bad. They're capable of doing what they did against the Wizards every darn game. And that's what I want to see. I'd like to see them rattle off half a dozen games where they just win by 25 or 30.
Yeah.
Because they can. Now, you're always going to have some losses where you kind of go, God, they should have won that game. But then you're going to have wins where you didn't deserve to win either. Those balance out. But I want to see a period of some consistency.
I like that take.
They're poised. They're looking good. They'll make the playoffs. It's just what team will we have at the playoffs?
And can we hold up with these guys? And here's my point. Oklahoma City is falling apart. They're worthless anymore. They've lost 4 games in their last 10, and they've only lost 6 all season long.
Only 6-4 in their last 10. Oh my God!
So they're falling like a rock. So that'll help us out. And I say that sarcastically. You could see this Oklahoma City team once they knew they couldn't make the record. There was a letdown. Now they've not let down for a lot, but they can't beat the Spurs. I'm more worried about us and the Spurs. Which side of the bracket do you want to be on? With the Spurs or you want to be the Thunder? Who do you want to kick your butt from one side or the next? Dan, let's see which one. John said we'll get to the playoffs. Which one of those animals you want to play against?
I still want to play the Spurs if I gotta have to choose.
Right.
If I'm choosing, just because that's because the Wolves when they're playing right, they can beat the Spurs any game.
All right.
If the Wolves are playing well, it's an even match against Thunder. Is my thought. So that's more my reason for it. But that's
you like that analysis, John?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We beat the Thunder, so there's going to be that nagging fear in their heads when we take them. There's going to be a little psych game going on there. I'd like that. It'd be a great series. Wherever we meet them, it'll probably go 7 games. Whatever.
Yeah,
level.
but you look at San Antonio or Oklahoma City. They've only lost 6 games. 3 of them to San Antonio. That's a series. You know what I'm saying? It's like San Antonio's got that. Victor has figured out how to play basketball. Anyway, we got to fly, boys. I appreciate you both. Thank you for coming back after the new year. Let's have a good 2026, eh?
Here we go.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Dan and John,
everybody.
We'll talk about the playoff games coming up on Friday with these guys. Back after this.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol,